Hey guys, my name's Dominique and I'm from Neike in Melbourne. Today I'm going to be shooting a tutorial on just a basic textured wave. Okay, so I'm going to take my Cloud9 iron. Now this is a godsend. I much prefer Cloud9 over GHD, but we'll run through that all later. So I'm going to take a clip and I'm going to section my hair. When we curl hair, or you're trying to style your hair, always make sure you section it. I think that's a big problem that we struggle with. Now, what I've done now, my hair doesn't set very well, so the heat setting on my iron is all the way up. So I'm just going to take a section about that thickness. So you know what? It's basically the same thickness and the same width as what my iron is. And pointing downwards, always pointing downwards, I'm just going to rotate backwards away from my face. So I'm going to clamp the hair, twist backwards and pull down. That is it. Now, when your hair is hot, leave it. Don't touch it until it has cooled down. You will interrupt it and that may just reduce it from holding as well. So we're going to leave that there. Now we're going to move over to my next piece. And we're going to twist again downwards, guys. And just once. Same with the back. Just have a feel, like you can feel the section that was really hot last time. So if you have a feel of that, you'll notice exactly what you haven't done. If you miss small pieces, it doesn't necessarily matter, especially because we are going for texture, so that just works anyway. Now with the back, it doesn't really matter what way you go. I just like to chop and change, but with the front, it is really important that you always go away from the face. So we're just going to go down with the nose of the straightener again. Perfect. Then we're going to take my next section. And we're going to repeat the exact same steps. Now, if you guys do struggle and you can't straighten with an iron, what I strongly suggest is practicing with it off first. So often than not, when we curl our hair and we don't do it right, we definitely pick that bit up and we try and go over it. Now, as I said before, when your hair is hot, it's not going to want to remold. So you also need to let it really cool down if you intend on remolding it. So definitely let it cool down if you have tried to curl it and it hasn't worked. Otherwise, I strongly suggest playing around with it off first. A lot of clients I've spoken to find that the straightening iron actually gets stuck in their hair. That can actually be because you've got too much product in there, or your iron may need a clean. So what I would do, I definitely turn it off, make sure it's off at the power point, then through a damp towel, not a wet towel as it is electrical, guys, and you've got to be really careful. With a damp towel, I will just slowly glide it through with the clean and just clean the plates a little bit. So you notice that there will be a lot of residue on there. If you've never cleaned your iron before, it's just something that happens. All right, now ensure where you want your part to be. So I'm gonna go over here. So we're just gonna lift this up a little bit. Show you guys. Twist it. This is a crocodile clip. The reason why I like them is they actually do hold really, really well, as opposed to like your flat clip. So if your hair's quite thick or you really do struggle clipping it up, that is definitely a winner from you. We're just going to pick this section up. Now, as I get to the top, I actually widen my sections a fair bit. So that's about 5 centimeters thick, right? So from the top, curling away, and I just drag down once. Leave it. Don't touch it. Let it cool down. Pick up the next piece. Now remember, because you haven't touched these bits, your section should still be neat. So there won't actually be any confusion on what piece of hair to pick up. And if there is, it doesn't matter, because remember, we're going for texture. If you are going to do the back, I recommend lifting up a little bit as it will give you some added volume. Remember, always away from the face. So nose down and away from the face. Now we're up to our last section, so I'm just going to shake my hair around just so that way it just sits where it wants to. Now I'm going to take this last section quite thick as I don't want it too defined. So I've gone quite deep, but quite thin, if that makes sense. I'm sure you guys can see anyway. All right, so starting from the root, and I'm going to turn it straight away. I'm just dragging once, and then we're going to leave it. Now we're going to follow this around with the rest of them. Now, I actually sort of brush the hair with my hands. If your hair is knotty, please grab a comb or a brush and definitely make sure it's smooth before you start ironing, as that can be another reason as to why your iron may get stuck as well. And another thing that I find really helps if you tilt your head. If you can tilt your head, tilt it. Otherwise, your arms end up in the air and everything just becomes really uncomfortable. So see what I'm doing with my fingers? That's me combing it. All right, so we're turning around. Now, some of that's already done, but it's all right. I'm just gonna go over it so that way it's all in sync and it's working well. Pick up these back pieces. I'm gonna go through this side. Now I'm actually gonna tilt my head because if I just keep my head up, that's gonna be too flat for me. So nice clean section, lifting up and always down. And then just making sure it sets nicely. This is our last one. Whoa. So combing it with my fingers. Now, if you find that your iron does get stuck, what I would do is, as you're twisting it, if it's stuck here, just slowly let go of it and make sure that you move the iron. If you just let go of it and you do this, you're actually going to create kinks. So if you sit there and you consistently move it down, you'll actually still get a curl. It will definitely not smooth though if your hair is frizzy. You just got to be really careful you don't leave kinks. So make sure that as you're moving it, you're definitely opening and closing the iron, as that will really help. Only if your hair gets stuck. Okay guys, so this is basically it. This is literally just ironed. I haven't brushed through anything. I haven't sprayed through any texturizing products. So we've got Doo.Over here. So this is Doo.Over, Kevin Murphy. Basically, it's a dry shampoo, a volumizing powder, and a hairspray all in one. So it does leave a little bit of shine, but it definitely gives you a lot of texture and just pumps everything out. I find that when I put this in my hair, I feel like the texture sort of lasts between 4 to 6 hours, depending on the weather conditions, but definitely one of my favorite products. So I'm gonna shake it. Now with this, always make sure that you shake it really, really well, as it can be quite dusty, as I'm sure you can see. Now the whole room's gonna be full of dust in a minute. Basically it's quite misty. So it just gives you a really soft texture with a little bit of shine as well. So it's not super matte for those of you that like texture, but still like a little bit of a glossy finish. Now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go in short bursts. That's another thing with this as well. You really always wanna spray it in short bursts. We're gonna go in short bursts. I'm starting underneath, just more so through my roots than the beginning. We'll tilt it upside down to the back. Now, don't be scared to tilt your head upside down as well, guys. Okay, so our roots have basically been sprayed, and as you can already see, there is a little bit more volume. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually pick the front up in quite a big section, and just from underneath, short bursts, just to give us a bit of texture. Now, because the can is obviously not the right way up, the air pressure is not gonna work properly, so you do need to make sure that you are shaking it to get the consistency of the product. And another thing with Doo.Over, a little bit goes a long way. I'm gonna leave it at about there. Now again, I've just curled my hair, I put product in, and I haven't actually done anything else. So just with my hands, I'm actually gonna tilt my head backwards and just slightly massage my roots from underneath. Now it does not matter if you ruin your part a little bit, that's fine. Feel free to chop and change it. As you can see, we have got a lot of volume happening here. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to dress this out. Now I'm gonna go back to my part, and from underneath, I'm just putting my fingers through and I'm just combing it with my fingers. Now, the reason I do go underneath is because if we come from up top, we're just gonna absolutely flood in all of this, and that's definitely not what we wanna do. So we just wanna be pumping it up and pulling it out. pumping it up and pulling it out. Same with the back. Now, if you feel like that bit there is a bit too flat, if you just press it, it molds really, really well. We're just gonna go through this fringe a little bit and try and remold it. Cool, so there you go guys, Do.Over. The way that I like to use Do.Over is for a style like this, more for like day wear, something that's really soft when clients don't want too gritty of a feel. If they do want something gritty, I definitely go towards a powder. I will pick up a powder 90% of the time, but it is if clients just want that soft, high gloss, high shine sort of thing, where I will definitely pick up Do.Over. So it works really, really well on short hair and also on like long hair as well. If you go through and you're gonna do some glam waves or anything, tilting their head all the way back like that and just short bursts throughout the mid lengths and ends, and then even if you just get a wide tooth comb and you loosely comb through that, it is beautiful. It doesn't make the hair oily, but obviously if you are going to overuse it, just like any other product as well, other than a dry shampoo I suppose, it's definitely going to give you that feel. It does have dry shampoo in it, which is awesome. So if you feel like maybe you're on day 3 and your hair, you know, needs a little bit of freshness, but you feel like you also need texture and you love hairspray, you are a hairspray every single day person, Do.Over is definitely your man. So that's him, and the smell of him is divine. So it is quite misty. I like to overuse it. I'm guilty of that, but my clients definitely don't complain because the smell of it is amazing. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.